Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light. What up? Tell everybody. Tell everybody to get in here. Search first, gatekeeper. So this video is for those of you who are making progress in your life. You're moving forward. You are actually straining forward towards what lies ahead, like the Bible says, forgetting those things that are behind and straining forward towards what lies ahead. So you are moving forward towards your goals, whatever those goals may be, your dreams, the desires of your heart, and you are focused on your primary priorities, and you are making progress. You are making headway. And sometimes what will happen is some of your relationships with your friends and family will change. And I think this is one of the things that a lot of people who are on the path to growth, personal development, on the path in terms of career development and whatever area of your life are not really prepared for, and they tend to be astounded and dumbfounded when their friendships begin to shift for the worse. Even though you are being a kind person, you're not being mean to anyone, you may be a little busier than you used to be because you have a different focus now, right? You were focusing on whatever that goal may be, so that's taking up more of your time. But you are still a decent person, a good person, a person with a good heart. You know, none of us are perfect, but you are moving forward. And what happens with so many of you who reach out to me about this is that you are not prepared when a lot of your relationships begin to change, and you start to notice that it's changing for the worse, or you notice friends are falling off by the wayside, or you notice that there's tension as you begin to have success in whatever area of your life that you are focused on in this season. And so it's important to understand that just because you're not competing with a certain friend or a certain family member doesn't mean that that person isn't low-key competing with you. So you might be a person who is competing with yourself, right? The version of who you were yesterday, who you were last year, and you're trying to be a better version of yourself. So that's the only person you're competing with, the you that you look at in the mirror. Right. But everybody is not necessarily of that mindset. And you may notice that you have some friendships that you're starting to sense tension. You're starting to sense that anytime you share good news that you get pushback, and sometimes you're not even sharing good news. It's just that whatever's going on in your life is evident, right? So I'll use some examples so to make it plain. So if you got a new car, you can't really hide that. You're driving that in the parking lot. Right. If you bought a new house and you invite friends and family members to your house, how can you hide where you live? If you just had a baby, you're getting married, if you lost a significant amount of weight, if you were just growing in terms of personal development, so you're talking differently, you are reading books now. You are reading more personal development books that grow you, better your life. So your conversation is beyond the most popular Netflix show.
How about it?
One of the housewives shows. So your conversation is now about the books that you're reading, because you're feeding your brain things to improve your life, to inspire you. So it could be growth in that way. You can select the particular area because you know you, I don't. You know what you're working on. But one thing that people are not prepared for who are on the path to success, and here we define success as the achievement of your purpose, the realization of your goals, and the achievement of purpose. So whatever your purpose is in this season, if you set out to be a parent who is host.
And Dizzle, who is that young lady?
Cassandra Mack.
Cassandra Mack.
Cassandra Mack Ministries.
Cassandra Mack Ministries. Now, I have a sister who shares the same name. And me being from Chattanooga, we say Cassandra, not Cassandra. Huh? Hold on, pimp. I know you West Coast, but that's Cassandra. He understands me. Hey, Cassandra Mack of Cassandra Mack Ministries. Come on. But she was on complete fire. I can tell you that. And she led us right up to our topic. Are you supported or surrounded? Oh, Lord. So many people want to come around and be down because they see you as some type of fuel, right? Something they can siphon off of. What is real support, though? I'm very interested. How does one show up in support of you? Support isn't enabling. I don't believe it is. Some people think enabling is support. Lord have mercy. We got a lot to unpack tonight. Are you supported or surrounded? A deep intrapersonal and interpersonal inquiry into psycho-spiritual reciprocity and energetic integrity within human relationships. Let's talk about it. I want to know, how would you like people to support you? How do you behave when people don't support you? Why are you in need of support? And if you are the supporter of a myriad of others, do you feel surrounded? Let me ask a question. Are you fed by the circle, or are you bled by the cycle? Is that love in your life, or just lethal disciples? Do you have a crowd in your face, but your soul is still stifled? Like the loudest applause from a silent revival. Have you ever been hugged by a huddle, but still feel like a hostage? Where presents got costumes and mirrors are cautions. They clap when you suffer, they kneel when you fall, but vanish when truth starts repealing the walls. They surround you in stillness like ghosts in a choir, feeding off silence, but call it inspired. That ain't support, that's performance on fire. That's a sacrificial soul wrapped in Sunday attire. They don't see you. They skim through your light like captions beneath what you're begging to write. And I don't know. You be carrying their grief like it's tides to the night. But who buries your grief when it climbs into sight? Right? Are you met or maintained? Right? Are you met or maintained? I'm asking the question. Are you met or maintained? Fed or contained? Got love on your name or just echoes of pain? Do they stand when you storm or sit when you shine? Or do they pray for your break because your peace is redefined? They soul grazing, harvesting your calm like crops in confession. They don't want your truth, just your trauma's expression. They call it a bond, but it's more like possession. Validation vampires dressed up as affection. Are you the fixer, the empathetic priest, doing CPR on corpses that you've never released? Yeesh. But support ain't service. It ain't saving the feast. It's mirrors, not masters. It's honest, not pleased. See, trauma taught us to confuse touch with demand, to equate usefulness with being in demand. We be slaves to applause that our souls didn't plan, putting band-aids on hearts just to feel like a man. You ain't loved if you gotta bleed to be real. You ain't safe if your silence is a part of the deal. If you ain't held in your fire, I don't know who I'm talking to tonight. If you ain't held in your fire, just praised in your chill, these aren't supporters, my friend. If you ain't held in your fire, just praised in your chill, then you furnace fakers, not iron to steel. Oh my God, furnace fakers. I need people to be in the fire with me. Don't be a furnace faker. Don't show up when the fire is out. When we come, oh Lord, come on. What if closeness is the code to decode our decay? Come on, man. What if closeness is the code to decode our decay? What if seen feels like danger because love went astray? What if presence feels violent because peace was delayed? And what we call support, when it echoes our shame, oh my God. Proximity ain't presence. Let's split the distinction. Just because they near don't mean they shift your dimension. Oh my goodness, tonight's topic is too much. Tonight's topic is too much. Are you ready are you supported or surrounded? Surrounded by soul grazers. Like cattle, they're just grazing off the crops you've raised internally. Oh, I can go get validation from them. That's a crop. I can go get approval from them. I can go get acknowledgement from them. I can get my ego stroked. You know what? I can play with them and it'll make me feel bigger than they are because they always fall for it. These are the type of crops soul grazers are after. Are you supported? What is support? Someone who is present when you're in the furnace. Oh man, can you imagine someone present while you're in your furnace? They might not be able to feel the flames you feel, but they feel the pain you feel from your internal furnace. And they're there. That's support. They don't want anything. They're not trying to do your work for you. They're just trying to walk with you as you confront your work. That's support. Do you understand? Are you following what we're saying? Support is divine. It's alignment, not an enmeshment leash. Wow. It's not claps from a cliff while you drown underneath. It's not eyes full of envy when you finally speak. It's not yes men in church while you sin every week. It's presence, unbought, unforced, unafraid. It's the hand that don't fix. Just witness your quake. I'm here to witness your quake. I'm here with you as the Richter in you is set off. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the friend who reflects what your ego can't fake. That's support. It's the lover who ain't threatened when you finally break. Next time you feel that crowd press near, ask your nervous system, not your ear. Do they see your shadow? Do they hold your fear? Or are you just surrounded because you volunteered? Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR is on complete fire tonight. Tonight's topic is crazy. When we come forward, of course, I've got questions. I want to know what you think. Are you supported or surrounded? Do you know the difference? Oh my goodness, when we come forward, more from the VOR. What up, y'all? I hope you guys are enjoying tonight's setup. Are you enjoying the setup? Because next week, the setup won't be the same. This is like an unspoken this is like an unspoken series where we do the spoken word setup as the synopsis. So I think I did one every day this week, right? So tomorrow will be the last day that we do this for a while. But I wanted to throw a little curveball. I hope everybody is good. I hope everybody is good, 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 good. Can everybody hit the like button? Can everybody share this video? Is there a way to share on YouTube, right? Oh, y'all fighting goons. Goons are coming in. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Hey, all moderators on point. If they come in here tripping, get them up out. If they come in here bugging, get them up out. Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We got 9 people in here who haven't hit the like button. What up, brother John Gilbreth? We own one tonight for sure. The range is hot. That was what I was looking for. And yes, please get on your phone line. I want to talk to you. My nephew is here too. I want to talk to him as well. Please get on the phone lines. Get on the phone lines. I want to talk to folk tonight. Let's talk about being supported or surrounded. Have you ever felt surrounded? Or have you ever felt supported? Please talk to me. Yeah, I don't see him. Man, I just saw the most loving shit ever, man. My heart is, man, my heart is full than a motherfucker right now, dog. Hey, that text message just took me over the top. I ain't been this happy in a long time. Damn. My son just posted a video, or he sent me a video of my granddaughter training, basketball training at Fresno State. Ooh.
can name a thing. We can name emotions. We can unpack our triggers. We can trace every behavior back to childhood. We know how to self-reflect, self-soothe, and set a boundary. But the part that no one really wants to admit is we've actually also gotten weaker. Not because anybody is broken, but because we've started to believe that being wise means avoiding anything that hurts, that maturity means that I'm not engaging, I'm not doing this anymore, that growth means leaving anything behind that stretches us because we now confuse discomfort with danger. We know how to talk about everything, but we don't know how to stay in anything. We call it evolution, and I know that I'm using absolute statements, but I'm going to keep doing that because too often what I'm seeing is emotional avoidance dressed up in language, because wisdom is supposed to guide you, not shrink you. Yes, we have gotten wiser, but some of that wisdom came at the cost of our strength. We've learned how to protect ourselves, but we have forgotten how to handle life.
Man, Miss Hopkins, boy, she on the grassy knoll taking folks out, man. She's not playing. She's cooking with the rarest grease. And I love it. I love what she's saying. A lack of resilience, right? Society is getting weaker in terms of emotional resilience, right? Now, but I do believe that there's a gray area there because she mentioned speaking in absolutes. And I do believe that there's a gray area. Yes, people, especially in your family, your loved ones, they might coalesce around you because you have a light, you have a gift, and there's a strength in you, and there's a quality in you that could potentially feed the masses, right? You are the proverbial endless loaves of bread and fish, the miracle that Jesus made. You could be that way. But if social norms or belief systems or your concepts of what that might mean to you are defined as I'm being crowded, it's too much going on, people are taking from me, then you might not be able to reach that potential. But then there's a fine line to that, where when people are disingenuous, when they come to you, not because of you or for you, they're coming to get something from you. And I think that's a self-awareness thing, right? I think that's definitely a self-awareness thing. Like if you're an anxious, preoccupied, or some type of empath, and you're just giving because there's a modicum of validation coming back to you, then you might be doing that to yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? You might be creating the I'm surrounded mindset when in fact, right, it's a projection of your thought process. But that still could be the case. That's why I said it's a gray area. And she mentioned it. She alluded to it. And I think that was dope that she did that. The proximity illusion, when closeness is a cloak for emotional control. There are some folk who want to be close to maintain some level of control. That's when you're surrounded and not supported. If somebody just wants to be around and they're not pouring into your cup, you're not supported. You're surrounded. You're being surveilled. You're under surveillance. They are a monitoring spirit in physical form. They didn't even give you the spirit. They show up. Do you see? Right? Emotional proximity versus relational presence, when closeness is the new cage. This is not an avoidant thing. This is a what are you here for thing. Are you here to just extrapolate, right? My spiritual crop? Are you here to be a soul grazer? Right? Here's your philosophical insight. Proximity is not ontology. To be near is not to be known. Sartre's view of the other reveals that we often reduce others to what we project onto them. Support then becomes a function of projection, not presence. your psychological insight. Attachment wounds distort safety signals. We cling to the familiar, even if it's dysfunctional, because it mimics the emotional environment where we were conditioned to regulate within. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. When I come forward, I'm going to give you our spiritual and metaphysical insight. We're cooking right now. I want to know, are you supported or do you feel surrounded? I'm rolling tonight. We're going to get to those phone calls. I need one more caller to call in. Let's go. Wound Watchers is crazy. And listen, don't be afraid to support the channel. You can go to my Cash App. You can go to the Super Chat here. I've seen that movie Constantine that you suggested. Apologize for the comment that I made yesterday. It's just an extremely heavy day. Brother, I don't give a damn what you did yesterday. I love you today. I love you like I loved you yesterday. You, my brother, we with you. And bro, I done said this to you 11 times, man. If you need me, just reach out. It's easy. You ain't got to carry nothing by yourself, brother. If you need me, let's talk. Maybe I can help walk you through a situation. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but that's the topic tonight. Are you surrounded or are you supported? What up, my peoples? Everybody hit that like button. We're doing a great job. We got 35 people in here. We got 33 likes. Many of us are overweight, not by the pounds on the scale, but by the emotional weight that we, come on, man. Emotionally obese? There's the topic. Come on. The emotional BMI? ESBMI. That's crazy. Emotional, spiritual, body mass index. Emotionally obese? Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody write that for me. Attila, did you get that? And a synopsis. What are y'all talking about? What is Attila talking about? LOL, 5 questions and a synopsis and videos. Come on. Nah, no. No, Attila. You know what it is. Come on, Attila. Come on. Emotional bowels. That's terrible. The 4 kids, what up? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, fam. Welcome in here, the 4 kids. I'm staying on point. What up? I want to know you guys' honest opinion. What do you think about the poetic intro? Does it make sense? Or do you like a regular intro? I mean, I'm just trying out different things. I think you need a mixtape. It's crazy. That's bananas. That's crazy. Flowed nicely. Shrimp and grits is crazy. If y'all like it. I know you, dead ass. You serious. I know. Stop playing with my emotions. Folks are too busy doing them that most people don't have time to think about anyone else. Yeah, 100%. 100%. We need one more caller. We haven't gotten that one more caller. Can I get one more caller? Because I'm going to calls after I give you your spiritual and metaphysical insight. One more. 1-800-920-1580.
Back to Healthy Don't Hurt. It's a Monday. I'm about to tear it up because you know I got that dog in me. So today's video is how to tell if you are being tolerated or celebrated with your friends. This is something that many people struggle with, especially because people hate being alone. Now, one thing that I've noticed, me personally, and this has only happened about once or twice in my life, is that when you are around a group of friends or a friend group that starts or has been tolerating you instead of celebrating you, you can normally tell because they normally do one of two things. You'll be hanging out with them at the function, everyone's having a good time, and then the conversations start to brew up and people start to talk about events in the future. Now, if you start to realize they talk about an event that's occurring in the future and everyone's invited except for you, and no one puts any effort into inviting you, and you would almost literally have to invite yourself to be welcome to this event, you are being tolerated and not celebrated. The second thing that tends to happen is you start to notice the communication is heavily one-sided. You go from them messaging you first occasionally to them not communicating first at all. I'm talking phone calls, text messages, Snapchat. You literally have to make the first point of contact every single time. And now I know some people are going to be like, well, I'm busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on. No one is so busy that they can't send a text message, a video message through FaceTime, through Snapchat, through Facebook. They can't pick up the phone and call you to see how you're doing or to invite you somewhere or to link up. No one is that busy, because in all reality, when it comes to the people that are actually important to them, they make sure to make the phone call to everybody else. They make sure.
Sounds anxious, preoccupied to me. I hear a little AP on them. I know. I can hear a little bit of it. Gosh, some people are really busy and can't get right back to you. I knew it was going to be a little shaky by the name of the clip. What's the name of? What did he call it? Something doesn't hurt or something. What?
Healthy hurt.
Healthy doesn't hurt, or healthy hurts, or what did he say? He said healthy doesn't hurt. I'm like, well, that's not true. Yeah, that was the first fumble at the 2-yard line with the game on the line.
How to tell if you are being tolerated versus celebrated.
And I get it. I mean,
Healthy don't hurt.
Yes, healthy don't hurt. That's not true. Sometimes the healthiest things for you actually hurt. Individuation, the dark night of the soul, all of this hurts, but it's actually good for you. Come on, man. The voice of reason is cutting up tonight's topic, man. Are you supported or surrounded? This is deep. This is deep. If you're surrounded, I call those people soul grazers, right? You have grown an insecure crop in your spirit, and they see it and they come get some every single time. Here's your metaphysical and spiritual insight on that. In Vedic and Ifa cosmology, false closeness creates energetic enmeshment, an entanglement that mirrors karma or debt. Right? Spiritual debt, karma, not communion. Right? Your clinical and empirical insight, studies on trauma bonding, Patrick Carnes and Judith Herman, confirm that psychological closeness can occur in the absence of empathy. Proximity is not a reliable marker of support. Soul grazing as spiritual cannibalism, the psychoenergetic theft of selfhood. Soul grazers, how people feed on your presence while starving your personhood. Nietzsche warned of the will to power hidden in the guise of care. Many people want your energy, not your essence, because your essence threatens their illusion of control. Your psychological insight, covert narcissism, and fawn responses create a silent economy where emotional labor is traded for pseudo-belonging. Your spiritual and metaphysical insight, soul grazing, is etheric parasitism. Parasitism. Being a parasite, that's what they're saying. It disrupts the auric field and weakens the vibrational sovereignty of the empath, creating karmic leaks. Your clinical and empirical insight here. Empirical research on emotional labor and burnout, Mashlock, shows that overgiving, right, leads to identity erosion and chronic depersonalization. Oh, Lord. Are you surrounded or supported? Can two things be right at the same time? I learned a new phrase. Well, I'll save that for later. But yes, I think two things could be right at the same time. I think some people in your circle could be, right, surrounding you, surveilling you. And then some people in your circle could be supporting you. But the question is, how do you recognize them? How can you tell the difference? It's very interesting to know. 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. I want to get everybody in here right now. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
No, man, you say that two things can be right because that's what speak. In terms of perspective, I think it's dope to find that ability to be both at the same time. You know, like not necessarily stuck by being surrounded, yet from a parasitic standpoint, if you're like that papaya seed, you're magnetizing all the stuff that's to be expelled. We brothers have spoken to, like JG and all, like with the kamikaze, like to a degree when I'm on mission, I want y'all to be huddled up if you're not in support of my sustenance, so that when it comes time to get rid of y'all, it's more energetically effective, or it's economic in that sense too. So it's not to be afraid to remain in position. That again, that analogy that you were speaking to, the soul grazing, like it inspired me to think like about a lesson leech, or how you rotate cattle, and even to say what they poop away or what they feel are the things to excrete on your property, they're actually still beneficial when your whole being or your whole plot, your whole mindset, your bottom line is rooted in good nourishment. That's what's supporting you, and that's what you're living as being a part of and one of anyway. Like you're going to continuously remain supportive or be able to direct cattle, if you will, or even like set up barricades. Like not to be too, what's the word, to use so many analogies or visuals, but it helps kind of draw those lines and say, I can be both. It's no problem, especially when all the while there's a lot of things that we don't necessarily perceive or see with the naked eye. Mm-hmm. Yet at all times our ancestors, our angels, our greater good, or, you know, those truths that still will bang back at those who don't believe in us, including myself. However, it's mad. Like once that veil gets ripped and you can really see what's going on, but you're being supported regardless. You're willing.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Go and embrace that. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm with you as well. Just like you're saying, Lord willing, you can embrace that and say, through your relaxation, being surrounded to an extent is a part of your assignment to be the change out here in your own life and lives of others. And what doesn't belong is going to fall off along the way. But then when you're shook or too afraid, you're losing sight of that true control, the true authority at all times. For myself, it's just that surrender to say, like, you're a moth, flame, you're going to burn.
I got it. I got
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just let it rock.
I got it, brother. You always cooking, man. I love it. The nephew from where? What did you bring in? What did you do?
I already know. What's happening?
A-Town is in the building. You know what it is. Atlanta in the house, on the board first. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas, and Indianapolis. Let's get it. Great call, Nas.
Some straight talk. This
Hot
is where
Atlanta.
you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between.
Fire call, yep.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training,
Muddy Wuckies side of the game.
Great options for you. First, the city of Los Angeles has workforce centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep.
Oh, and can everybody thank the brother Maurice White, who dropped a super chat on us? He said, using Joseph Campbell's work in my lecture this semester. Big thanks for putting me on to his work. Absolutely, Maurice. Oh, that's my brother. If I'm not mistaken, Maurice White brought me down to do lectures at Kentucky State University twice. If that's the Maurice White, thank you, Maurice. My brother, appreciate you, fam. Everybody should hit the like button on that, brother, man. Everybody should show some love. Yeah, I think he brought me down to Kentucky State University twice, green and gold. What up, Eddie?
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do?
Dre Dog, what up?
Plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail.
Yes, indeed. Discernment is God's coded direction. No discernment, no direction from God. Interesting.
Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Ooh. Trusting.
How do you feel when you try to take part in a group? It's super common for those of us who grew up with abuse and neglect to feel as adults that we are somehow not quite part of things. Do you have this? Where you feel like you're on the outside of groups, kind of in it, kind of not in it, but never really part of it. Or you start as a full participant, but then you pull away over time. You uninclude yourself. I've done this so many times. And maybe you're resigned to the fact that groups are just not for you, but belonging is important, and it's a real need that all people have. So you might be still trying, joining groups, getting uncomfortable, or feeling excluded, and then dropping out again. And maybe you think in each case that the problem is other people. And sometimes that could be true. But the telltale sign that this could be a personal choice, even when it doesn't feel like it, is that you're almost always at about the same distance from the center. And by that I mean every group has a center, a leader or two who are at the very middle, and then all around them are the people who put a lot of time and energy into the group. And a little further out are the people who are involved and influential, but not as much as the people near the center, and so on. Now, in my case, I used to always like to settle at about 80% out from the center, invited to the party, but not responsible for making the party happen. And a lot of times I'd start out motivated and thinking, you know what, this group is great. I've finally found my people. I want to be involved with this. And then I move towards the very center of the group, maybe take on a more active role, maybe even a leadership role. And then sooner or later, probably sooner, I would find some reason to pull back. I might go to about 40% out of the circle first, but eventually I bounce out of the group altogether. So being part of something was, and in some areas of my life it still is, really uncomfortable for me. So why is that? I used to think my trouble with groups was just one episode of bad luck after another, the wrong co-workers, the wrong mom's group, the wrong 12-step friends, and I'd think, I guess I'm just really different. These people don't get me. And I never saw that it was a consistent pattern until I had a lot of healing from dysregulation and I started to have some clarity. And it makes sense because being in a group, when you have the sensitivities of childhood PTSD, can be too much. People are triggering, right? And groups of people, it's like a bunch of triggering people and the group dynamic that brings up all your pain about belonging and fitting in and all the times that didn't happen. So dealing with a lot of people can be like an assault on your senses. And it gets really emotional. It's like a high school experience that just never stops.
You're listening to the VOR live on KBLA Talk 1580. And as usual, we're in here cooking with topics that, don't fit the normal fare, right, in relationship discussions. We're not talking about BBLs. We're not talking about the new baby hair craze. We're not talking about eyelashes the size of garage doors. We're not talking about Beijing, men coloring man makeup. We're not talking about any of those things and their effects on relationship. Sure, they may affect relationship in some way. No, we're getting at the underbelly, the psychological, the spiritual, right? We're talking about those things that matter most in terms of why we're in a relationship to begin with. Tonight's topic, are you supported or surrounded? How do you feel? The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580, mirror or mask. The weaponization of empathy in intimate relationships. Weaponize empathy. How support becomes a strategy of suppression. Your philosophical Martin Buber's I-it versus I-thou suggests that true connection is rare. Most empathy is a tool of manipulation or emotional management. Are you surrounded? Are you being surveilled? Or are you supported? And do you know how to tell the difference? Your psychological insight, codependent individuals often equate empathy with control. Helping becomes a covert contract for being needed. Your spiritual metaphysical insight, true empathy in Taoist thought flows through, not from. When it becomes about you, it is no longer divine. Your clinical insight here, research on emotional enmeshment, Bowen and others, shows that empathy without boundaries is indistinguishable from fusion and is correlated with emotional dysregulation. Oh my goodness. When we come forward, the phone lines are open. We're going to Houston, Texas, and Indianapolis. I already know what those two calls are going to be like. Let's get it. First hour rolling.
At 12 noon, right after Tavis Smiley, here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
What is a relationship? To be related, what does it mean? Relationship means to be related, to be in contact with. Not only physically, but psychologically, inwardly. Are we related to anybody? Except, of course, our father, mother, and all the rest of it. I'm not talking about that. But are we related to anybody? Are you related to me, and am I related to you? Are you related to your wife? To your father, to your mother? To your friend, to your girl, to your boy? Are you? What does this word relationship mean? Not only to be physically in contact, but also it means much deeper than that, surely. To be related with somebody actually means to be related at all levels of one's being, isn't it? No? I'm never related to my wife. I'm not married. I'm never related to my wife.
Wait, pause. To be related to someone is to be in contact with all levels of someone's being. This is what Krishnamurti is explaining to us as relationship. So one has to be related to oneself. That's individuation. That's what Carl Jung was talking about. And please understand, Carl Jung and all these guys, Freud, everybody, they took stuff from mystics like Krishnamurti. So it's fine. Carl Jung actually went to sit with Krishnamurti. So when you hear that, it's mind-blowing, right? To be in a relationship, you must be related at all levels. Physical, spiritual, psychological, emotional, all these levels. That's individuation. You can't be related if you're showing up fragmented. Let Murti finish. I'm sorry.
I may be related to my wife physically. I may be not related intellectually. But spiritually, if I can use that word. And I'm related to my whole except physically. Is that relationship? I spend a great part of my life in an office and work in a factory. I come home with my own ambitions, goals, insights, all the agonies, pains, and am I related to my wife? So relationship means, doesn't it, to be related totally, completely, at all levels of one's being. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, subtly, the whole thing. That means love. Doesn't it?
He just opened up a can of whoop tail. My goodness, you're listening to the Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. You already know what it is. The VOR, man, we hit you with these hardcore relationship topics, and Krishnamurti is pulling no punches at the top of the second hour here. You have to be related at your whole being has to be related, right? So if you're fragmented, how can you differentiate between whether or not someone is a support system, right? Or you're surrounded? Are you supported or are you surrounded? That's our topic tonight. You might misinterpret someone as being a surveiller. So they're surrounding me. You know, in much the same way as insecure attachment styles view intimacy very differently, right? The avoidance swings, intimacy, closeness is a threat. Whereas the anxious preoccupied sees intimacy as a safety net, a blanket, approval, acceptance, worthiness, right? But this is very interesting. Krishnamurti is saying you can't be in a relationship unless you're connected at all levels of your partner. You can't connect to all levels of your partner until you connect to all levels of yourself, which leads us back to Carl Jung's idea of individuation. Tonight's topic: are you supported or are you surrounded? And anybody who supports you, they're not going to enable you. They're going to encourage you. They're not going to coddle you. They're going to confirm the truth of you. Do you understand? Someone who really supports you, right? Oh, this is going to be good. We got callers on the line. I want to get them all in here. Let's do it. Attila, Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Listen. Again, you brought this to me today. I said,
Hold on.
Hold on, listen. This is it's so good. And in looking for the clips, it kind of, how do I say this? Like, it definitely had me kind of going back down memory lane, at least with crappy childhood fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because when you start talking about CPTSD and really confronting their shadow. She even mentioned like the 12-step program. I don't know if you know this. There's a 12-step program for codependent.
Woo, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, one of my students' moms was telling me about it. And so what I find so interesting is that the mechanisms that we use to guard ourselves, in a sense, like someone mentioned, discernment, right? We're taught that that is supposed to be something vital to help protect ourselves, right?
Mhm.
And it's so interesting because all of this is based on externalities. The idea that the threat is outside, but the call is coming from inside the house, like I said last night.
The call is coming from inside the house. The house is your soul, child. Is that what you're telling me?
100%. And to me, like your discernment, your quote unquote discernment, that's your alarm system, right? That you've created and you call it God's voice. Because all that's about really is your unhealed wounds, right? And it's funny that Crappy Childhood Fairy takes the position of being in a group and realizing, okay, maybe it's me. I think that is so crucial, and that's really where we're lacking in this day and age. Because again, things are so preventative, and when we're talking about relationships, everything is trying not to be played, trying to make sure you're on the one up, or trying to make sure, again, it's very defensive, very much so in a posturing, to me, of inferiority. Truthfully, spiritually inferiority.
Spiritual inferiority is heavy. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yes. And so I think when you start to individuate and you start to really look at yourself, you stop othering other people.
You stop othering? Come on, give me some of that. What that mean? You stop othering other people? Talk to me.
Right. Meaning that it's no longer me against you. I see me in you and you in me. We are one and the same. The very thing that I may want to judge you for or be hurt by you based on some actions, I can look at myself and see where I actually created this dynamic, where I helped to make things flow. Because there is no narcissist without the SLDD. There is no avoidant without the anxious person.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so they're one and the same. And so I just kind of wanted to reiterate that, when we're looking at these dynamics of relationships, right, if you're in a posture of woundedness, of trying to be worthy, it's very, very hard to, quote unquote, discern your discernment. How can I say that my discernment is clear when I myself am not clear? I have unhealed wounds that I need to work through. And so I can't really say that my judgment is sound. Why? Because I have blinders. I have blind spots. And so, even when you mentioned the soul grazing, I think I even sent a question to you. Why are we so focused on avoiding soul grazers versus not becoming one? Versus checking ourselves and making sure that
we're not a grazer. We got udders and everything. We chewing sideways.
Right. And there's this obsession with the reciprocity and the obsession with, like I said, trying not to be played instead of really just analyzing yourself, looking for the places where you need to be accountable and aware.
Right.
And so that's just kind of what I want to say.
No, I love it. I absolutely love your take. But I'm asking, can one be aware of oneself shifting between being a soul grazer themselves or being a supporter of another?
100%.
Can you
100%.
have you talk to me about this experience?
That's like, what I would describe that as? That's like the insecure attachment style becoming secure. Like, when you start seeing yourself putting down those old behaviors, when you're observing yourself, you absolutely can tell, before I would have tripped out on that.
Right.
I would have crashed out on that. Before I would have got real avoidant and just blocked this person and did whatever and do da-da-da. But now I can have the hard conversations. Or I can stop making things seem bigger than what they are and realize that it's not actually going to be a hard conversation. It's really just, it's not as bad as it is. So I think the less I start to lean into my ego and into my fear, that's where I feel the shift. But I feel like that's only possible with observing yourself. As long as I've been judging myself, that has not been possible.
Wait,
As long as I've been telling myself,
you said something big about the fears. How do you cause the fears to subside so that you can see clearly? What does that process look like? How do you cause the fears to abate? Oh, oh God, yeah. But you don't talk. But you come on now. You know you got your own little process. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I mean, for me, what's really been helping me though is leaning more into my creativity and not being so structured. Because I think I was kind of raised with a lot of structure and should, and this should be a certain way. And so when I take time to meditate, to create, to really just be present with myself, because we talked about that earlier. True support is present. Being present with myself has been the thing that has made me be like, wait a minute. You're not tripping. Your heart rate is not as fast. We are calm. This is good.
We're okay.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
And more importantly, like I said, not judging myself. Being like, okay, you know what? That wasn't the nicest thing to think or to say. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to do better next time.
Right.
So before, I might have threw a little bit of negative self-talk at myself. And now I'm reeling that back in. So I think it's just kind of, as you said the other day, being mindful, right? But being watchful, observing yourself, not judging yourself, it takes time. Like, you have to really, I think, put that into practice. And it helps to have a friend, to have an uncle, hey. But I'm serious. I'm so serious. I don't think you understand your impact, too. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
I love it. I love it. Listen, young lady, I'm going to ask you this question. It's very important.
Okay.
Guess what you just did?
Right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is on the board. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We're on complete fire tonight. Let's get it. Ronan, you up? Man, we ain't got no cash apps. None. 72 minutes into the show. Let me say the 72 minutes flew by quick than a motherfucker. We got no support except for one super chat. And we thankful for the super chat. Brother Maurice White. Good brother, man. I think that brother is an alpha man. Right? Good brother. Teachers need more support. Who y'all telling? In begging. Wow. No, we get a lot of trolls. You know that. I love it. Y'all get them up out quick too. Here we go.
I want you to imagine that you're in a car accident and you're really injured. Now I want you to imagine that the ambulance driver shows up and the people from the ambulance feel your empathy so much that they actually are hurting just as much and they can't help you. This is actually the curse that many empaths have. They are holding on to the pain of the world so much that they're missing out on their power and their actual ability to change it. And as we go into August, we are going to realize that our holding on to the pain of the world is so exhausting that it's time for us to actually dislodge and find our actual power. You know, most of us empaths grew up empaths because we had a parent or both parents were narcissists, and we got very used to holding the most pain we could find. We got used to holding the blocked pain of these parents or family members and feeling that pain in ourselves. Then we go into the spiritual world or the self-help world, and we need to be in service for others. Our happiness will be when we contribute to the world. Well, what happens if the only idea of the world that we have is the world's pain, and we pick up the pain of the world, and we are constantly in this place where the world that we know is the pain part of the world, and we're scared to let go of it because we feel we'd be selfish and we'd be abandoning it. But the truth is, it's time for us to be selfish, which is actually selfless, break off from our constant holding of the pain in order to find the true power that's inside of ourselves. There is a power that is so strong under our constant false, I care what everyone else thinks, under our people-pleasing, under our false selves. And that power is what we need to actually break off of our codependency of the pain in the world, to become powerful, to become free, to become truthful, to become our most powerful self, so that the world actually changes. You know, there's a lot of us that treat the world as if we're here to change the world, but we only want to change a world that we're empathetic and holding. And when we finally break off of that and go, I'm going to be me, I'm going to break off of the pain of the world and shift my energy to what the hell I truly am, and stop trying to change the world, but instead let it change me. Let the world turn me into my true self. Let the world be boot camp that actually changes me. You know, a person doesn't go into military boot camp and try to move it into a 5D boot camp. It doesn't try to soften the boot camp. You go into a boot camp, you go into a jiu-jitsu class, you go into these things to just change you. That's the world we're in right now. It's a world designed to change you, and your constant empathetic and desire to shift it is what's making you so exhausted. What if instead...
Hey, he sounds familiar. Is that Kyle? What's his last name, Kyle?
Kyle Cease.
Kyle Cease is out here sniping. Listen, come on, man. I love it when it's fire. Are you supported or are you surrounded? Right? If you're unhealed, chances are you're going to feel like you're surrounded, when in fact, you may be supported. Right? We're trying to understand the difference and the situations that create this misinterpretation or misunderstanding, right? Sometimes you're actually surrounded and surveilled and fed on by energy vamps, what we are calling soul grazers tonight. But it all goes back to you, how you heal, how you show up for you, right? Anytime you don't show up for yourself, guess what happens? You start to leak. What are you leaking? Right? What are you leaking? Supply? Yeah. Oh, this is heavy stuff tonight. Listen, before I go even deeper, we got a caller on the line, one of our favorites. It's very important that we get him in here. Very important. He's a thought leader in this area. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Ronan from Naptown has made another appearance. Lord have mercy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Are you supported or surrounded, Ronan? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Actually, I'm more supported than surrounded.
Nice. Nice. I love it.
Initially, I thought I was more surrounded than anything, but I had to basically wage war with my weaker self.
Keep going. Go ahead. I'm hearing it. Say more.
So you got people who have to have these external placeholders for their insecurities. So you got people running around saying, I got haters, whatnot, but you basically promote them to do that. You promote the authority for them people to do that. So when it came down to, I remember hearing the part about boot camp. I haven't been to boot camp and just going through it internally for myself. You had to strip everything down, what you were accustomed to become something better, something more refined, something more with precision. So I had to get rid of the people-pleasing element. I had to, especially took a while to get rid of the negative self-talk, because if you allow it to, complacency can become your love language.
That's deep. That's deep. But how do you overcome it, Ronan? How do you circumvent that? How do you transcend, first off, internally, how you feel about yourself? And then how do you come to terms with, wow, the way I felt about myself or feel about myself is kind of like a magnet that drew these people in. How do you come to this realization?
Well, you have to learn how to purge the guilt of being gifted.
Nah. See, what you're not gonna do is finna come in here and start cutting up. What you go, hold tight, Ronan. Wait, I need you, when we come forward, I need you to break that all the way down. What you just said, we need it again, and we need context when we come forward. More from Naptown. Let's go, Sensei. This is all good. Like usual, Lloyd Hinton. Thank you for the first and only Cash App we got. We appreciate it. We're thankful. We're grateful. Thank you, Lloyd Hinton. Can we all give Lloyd a shout out, please? Let me tell you something. That damn water. No, we love that brother. We love all the brothers in here. John Gilbreth, True Measy, Nat, Nazarene, X, all the brothers. Jack, is it Jack Brazen? All the brothers. Don't let me forget your name. Put your name in there. David, what up? Asking you shall receive. I wish it were more. No, it is what it's supposed to be, and it's all love, Astral Glitch. We accept it, and we appreciate it. Thank you. You drink filtered or bottled? That water filtered. That's some... Boy, that water's so damn good. I don't know what kind of filter machine that is. Water good as hell.
Weekdays at 12 noon, right after Travis Smiley, for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, only on KBLA Talk 1580. Yo, it's So Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Astral Glitch.
Or just trying to outrun your past. This is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, puff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Now that water different. Heru Ali, I miss that brother. Reggie White, I miss that brother. We got a lot of good brothers in this chat. Suge Mac 510. Who else? Y'all name the brothers. Come on, let's name the brothers that be up in here, that be rocking with us, that be supporting us. Rev L Ratchet. Herschel. We forget Herschel. Davy Lee. Who else? Nobody's helping. All right. Theo. Yeah.
If you're an adult in need of accredited high school diploma, the Los Angeles Public Library can help. You can earn one for free in as few as 5 months online.
Nice.
24/7 access. You also get a
I just said Davy for sure.
training focused on 9 in-demand industries as well as a resume and cover letter to advance your career.
Come on, Davy Lee. You know what it is. J Dub. Definitely J Dub. We bugging. South Central. Look a here, Papa. Chitlin Pimp. We can't forget Chitlin Pimp. Cali Soul. What up, baby girl? Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Away. My feelings for you. Ba-ba-boom.
So
I like to divide the way of helping others into two buckets. One thing you can do, if they come to you for help, as often happens to us, people want to talk to us, people want our support, then you follow that guide that we just talked about. You listen and learn, and then you advise. And part of the advice is giving them the tools. Like, the way we help others is teaching others about these tools. I do this to my kids all the time. Right? Like, I'm constantly complaining that we're born into the world with the ability to experience chatter and big emotions. We're not born into the world with the user's guide that teaches us these tools. So if my kids come to me, I listen, and then I offer them tools. But then there's another situation where you see people you care about, your colleagues, your loved ones, and they don't ask you for help. And then the question is, well, what do you do? Do you let them just figure it out on their own, suffer in silence? Do you volunteer the support without them asking? There's been research on this, and it's tricky. The research shows that if you volunteer the support without the person asking, it has the potential to blow up in your face. As a parent, I'm sure you've experienced this, as I know I have. So sometimes if I've seen my kids, I know they're struggling with something, this is something I can help them with. And I volunteer the advice, it's basically a mild version of how they respond. When you offer support and it's not asked for, what that does is it communicates to the person that they're not capable of handling their own circumstances. And that can elicit defensiveness. So here's the really cool thing. We have learned how you can still help people when they don't ask for help. And what it involves doing is providing support invisibly. Okay, is this another one of these secret weapons? Wow. This is a secret weapon that everyone that you are listening, if you're listening, you now have a secret weapon. Lay it on us, Ethan. Okay. How do we do invisible support? Invisible support is providing people with support, but without shining a spotlight on the fact that you're doing. You kind of asked me about this earlier when you asked me about how do you tactfully help another person when they're struggling. this is how you do it. Okay. And there are many forms this can take. I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's say someone on my team or my lab is working under a really tense deadline. And they don't have time to take care of themselves and do simple things. I can just order in food for them. If my wife is struggling with lots of stress at work, lots of chatter, it's her turn to get the groceries. I just do the groceries, pick up the dry cleaning.
Man, Dr. Ethan Cross was cooking. He was cooking. I wanted it to go longer so he could give me just a little bit more in-depth description and or explanation of invisible support. Because from the little bit that I heard, it's not entirely invisible. It might be discreet, right? It might be clandestine to everyone else around. But you still, in some kind of way, have to connect with that person in order to quietly support them. But I loved what he had to say about it. I love it. Yes, I think support should be invite only. That's how I deal with my kids now that they're grown. You want to step in and say, do this, do that, ... But the reality of it is they're grown now. You have to be invited into their woes, into their complications, into their problems. You're not the same father or mother you were when they were children. Very interesting stuff. I loved every bit of it. Let me get back to my caller. You already know who it is, the legendary Ronan from Indianapolis. I hope you remembered where you left off.
Yeah, I remember.
Because you was cooking, and I want you to give me a definition of what you said.
Okay, I said we have to purge ourselves of the gift of being gifted. A guilt of being gifted. And what I'm saying is a lot of us allow self-negative talk to make soul grazers comfortable.
Now you saying we growing crops. Is that what we're doing? We're growing the crops that the soul grazers feed on. Because
Well,
of
the thing
negative
is, like,
self-talk? That's deep. Keep going. I'm listening.
well, you think about it, it's a sick symbiotic relationship, because while we feel these soul grazers, we do all that to keep negative company around. Just to say we got people around us. So when it comes to that internal work and breaking down who you were as far as a weaker self, that's going to be your biggest opposition, especially when you start accepting the idea that you're exceptional. And it goes back to when I was in art school, and I felt let down because, like, one of my mentors I looked up to challenged me to, like, charge this a client $500 for a project. And when I came back with 5 crisp $100 bills, he got up and never talked to me again. So after that, it was 3 unaccredited schools, a mountain full of student debt, and then it got to a point where I was like almost a 10-year sabbatical of not drawing, which led to a lot of depression and everything. But getting around my actual support group, who heard enough of what I couldn't do, but encouraged me to see what I can do, or what I was built to do. Things shifted to where I am not just broken that sabbatical from art, started piecing myself together. But I'm literally 3 months away from actually having my bachelor's in science.
Come on. Come on, man. Is this what's going on in your life, Ronan? Keep going. I love it.
This is a real-time situation. The thing is, like, when you look at your support group, because most people are outside my basically city limits, but it's built that way because, number one, you got to see how serious you are when you are in the trenches, how bad you want to be that better person.
Right.
And you have the outside help that keep you on point. They hold you accountable to what you say. They don't accept negative self-talk. They're like, look, this is not how we're going to do this. What can you do? Like, you're almost there, keep going. I don't want to hear about that negative stuff. What's a progress report? And when you start getting in the habit of seeing positive self-talk, you start breaking that curse of that negative narrative and that fear of success and becoming what you were built to be. And it's infectious, and that's how it's supposed to be. So we put too much power into people who have something negative to say. And really, those people, all they have is limited information, and they're powerless, especially when you start seeing your real self.
Man, I love it, brother. I love it. I love it. I love it. You, my brother, you know you welcome to come in here and cut up anytime you feel like it, brother. Guess what you just did, my friend? Naptown back in the building. Listen, I don't want, this is going to sound harsh, I don't want a Ben Simmons in my circle. You can't be stealing money from the team. You have to be productive in our circle. You have to be a real supporter. You can't be an emotional Ben Simmons. You're just out there getting paid. You worth $200 million. You score 6 points a game. You can't be that person in our circle. You can't be a taker. I want to be met. Right? I want to be met. Not... Do you hear what I'm saying? Meet me where we are, like together. Let's do it together. I don't want somebody to just be monitoring, to see what they can get, to see if I'm leaking some type of, supply that they can feed on. I don't want that. You understand? When we come forward, Zoe Williams is going to begin to land this plane. Let's get it. Booker Ronan was cooking. Assalamu alaikum, Moorish Indian American family. What up? Hey, brother, thank you for the 199. I appreciate it. Thank you. Dumbledore.
You know, I mean, as the Buddha said, we are all the heirs and the owners of our own karma. And so much as when we see people doing things which are not helpful to themselves or to others, we would like to change them and show them the right way to act. Even the Buddha himself could not do that. I mean, you know, he would show, I mean, you know, he was there as an example, but if people wanted to follow, they followed, and if they wanted to hear, then they heard. But if they didn't want to, then they would carry on the way they were going. And so I think we have to recognize that however much we might want to show people how they should be acting or point out to them the error of their ways, our ability to really be able to function in this capacity is limited. I mean, even great lamas sometimes have sons, especially sons.
I love Tenzin. I'm sorry. I love it. Now, her and Pima, they be cooking. And they drop spiritual jewels. And I don't mind sharing them with you at all. Are you met or mirrored, held or hired? Are your people witnessing your growth or just keeping you tired? Do your folks dance with your demons or pray you stay small? Do they honor your rise or wait until your eventual fall? What if I support you is really code for don't outgrow me? What if every I love you is a mirror that says you owe me? What if the hands that hold you are grasping their ghost, not tending your flame, but fearing you close? We mistake being surrounded for being seen, but too many crowds are camouflage for the unseen. They don't support you. They use your clarity to decorate their emotional disparity. The soul grays. Pick at your psyche like it's salad at brunch. Harvest your stillness with a trauma-packed hunch. Call it deep convo, but it's extraction, not depth. You're the well, not the friend. They don't care till you're left. Do you see? There's so many people that want to pull it out of you, but don't want to pull it out of themselves. It's easier to get it from you because you don't know your true value. Do you see? Presence ain't peace if you ain't safe in your own skin. If you got to shrink your shine just to let them all in, they ain't supporting. They're supervising your sin. Because they, listen, I don't want to lose the whole purpose of tonight's show. Are you supported or are you surrounded? But more importantly, is your vision clouded to where you can't tell the difference between the two? Somebody that supports you will encourage you to do your work. They will sit with you. They will stay with you. They will remind you of the importance of the journey that you're on. They will give insight. They will listen. They will shut up and they will listen. They will look you in the eye. They will be present. That's support, right? They will also speak when is necessary. They will call you out when you're running away from yourself. That's support. But when you're surrounded, hands are out, right? Hands are out. Have you seen people turn, I mean, literally turn on you after you've run out of the supply that they signed up? You know, signed up, this is a friendship. They signed a friendship subscription with you. You know, your presence ain't peace if you ain't safe in your own skin. If you got to shrink your shine just to let them in, they ain't supporting, they're supervising your sin. Because the freer you get, the more they feel their own spin. The scapegoat and the sermon, the empath and the exile, the God and the burden. You show up so hard, they forget you got wounds. And now your strengths, the prison, they use to assume that you don't need, that you don't grieve, that you don't rage when they fake what they believe. Are you safe or sedated, chosen or chained? Are they holding your wholeness? Your wholeness? Are they holding your wholeness? Or are they hoarding your shame? Is your silence a contract you never agreed? Are they staying because you starve while they feed? Are you supported or surrounded? Are you surrounded or are you supported? Matter of perspective, right? It's deep stuff, man. We crave closeness like water in a drought, but flinch when it floods. Like connections a doubt. Our inner child screams, be near. Both our bones say, but our bones say, not too loud. So we play house with ghosts and call that a crowd. Support ain't survival. It's alignment in flesh. Listen, you already know what it is. I start the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. We're not asking that you agree. We're asking that you inquire for yourself internally. That's what this is about. quietly, this was a poetry series, so to speak. All of the shows had a poetry tinge to it. We love doing it, man. The voice of reason is always going to be on fire. Listen, tomorrow is my Friday. Don't forget, tap in, tune in, stay with me. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Great show. See y'all tomorrow. Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love. Deuces.